Hey guys, welcome back to the recap for Monday. Let's go ahead and get into some price action. I'm going to keep it simple here, guys, and I'm going to keep it simple on the indicators and some lack of confusion. We've had people kind of analyze stuff that we were doing, put comments in, right, saying, "Hey, this is just too much. How many indicators can you have?" The one thing is a lot of times when you're just getting to pieces of anything, you're not really understanding exactly what's going on. But you're right. What is the moment of truth in trading that everybody needs to know? It's support and resistance is really what you want to know. And how do you find that support and resistance is the key. And if you know how to find it, then actually everything else falls in line with that. So all your indicators will fall in line with that. All your moving averages, all that kind of stuff will fall in line with that. So let's go ahead and get into the recap and take a look at price action and look for a trade, because that's what everybody seems that they want. Nobody wants to learn how to do it. They just want to be handed to them on how to do it. So we have made it about as easy as we can because of this. Our goal really at Kubota and the whole channel and everything that we do here is to teach you how to trade. So we're looking at it kind of like when you're a brand new driver. You get into the car, we're sitting in an empty parking lot. You don't know how hard to hit the gas, you don't know how hard to hit the brake, you don't know how to turn. How fast should you be going? How slow should you be going? How do you park it? All that kind of stuff. And you have somebody sitting in the driver's seat that knows how to do all that stuff, hanging out with you. So that's what our Kubota.com does. It also has a GPT that is also sitting with you and helping you guide you constantly all the time too. So you can ask questions and analyze it. So with that being said, that's what I was talking about earlier with the lines and creating support and resistances within these lines, and how do you figure all that out? Well, you can figure it out yourself, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this video here in the recap talking about it, but if you use your last price history and you have your session opened in whatever session you're going to be in, we trade in the US session typically. That's what I'm showing you on all the recaps. So I'm going to use the last 24 hours worth of movement, which is the other sessions in the world. So you're looking at Tokyo, you're looking at London, Sydney. Those are other sessions that are trading outside of our current session. So they move the price while we're asleep or while we're doing other things. Now you can trade those sessions if you like, but what we want to do is use those sessions to create key levels. And we use our 30-minute candle, so that's why you see these dotted lines. You can see the triggers, what we call them: breakout trigger, breakdown trigger, and then you have your daily support and your daily resistance. And that's how we mark the charts. Now we use, we call it our SSE engine, is what we nicknamed it. It's basically an engine that goes and analyzes a lot of stuff. It's more than just what you kind of see on the chart, but it's analyzing a lot of the price action in the last 24 hours, volume, supply and demand shelves. We're looking at the longer time frame, so your 1 hour, 4 hour that bleeds into your daily, weekly. So that's a bunch of blah blah, right? So really, we're in a nutshell, we take all that heavy lifting and put it all together, and we compartmentalize it into just some simple lines that we put on the chart, which is really your supply and demand lines, which that's what you're looking for when you're trying to find out all these indicators and all this craziness. That's what you're looking for how are those interacting with supply and demand. So supply and demand will tell you direction, and to kind of give you an idea, right now you have zero direction. The market opens up. If you're using the GPT and asking it simple, you can actually go into Kubota, you click a button, it gives you some prompt. The prompt you drop into the Kubota Trading Battle Box GPT, and then from there it'll actually kind of write out the day for you. It'll give you a daily snapshot of what is going to happen, where the key levels are here, what are we expecting in the key levels, what is the kind of that bias for today to take trades. All this stuff spits out for you and puts it into a nice little report. Then you can build a battle plan report real quick, which will tell you kind of what's going to happen on these levels, and more than likely it's going to happen, and then you can kind of sit back and watch. The one plus is though, as you're sitting back and watching, you're kind of thinking like, okay, what I'm going to recap a little bit right here is we're waiting for the price action to break out of one of these triggers and tells us which way it wants to go. So right now we're in rotation. It's just going to break back up and come right back into the mean, right back into the middle, the point of control. If it is, then you could trade it. That is a trade. That's why you're in rotational right now. It could just go back up here and come right back in. It could go right up here and come right back in. It could come down here and come right back in. And it could literally do that all day, and you could trade it all day. Those are trades that you can take because you have your support and resistance lines. The classic trade that I'm always going to go over, though, which is easy, is an actual breakout trade. So you want to see one of these candles, the 15-minute candle breakout. So there's I call it the activation candle because now it's activated a breakout or a breakdown. So we've got the breakout and it closed, and then you have needed the next 15-minute candle to close outside of that trigger, and then again it can trade back in, but it needs to close out. So you have two candles, and now we're going to go into this candle and we're going to take a trade. No, you're not, because what you're looking for now is are we going to have continuation? So are we going to get rejected right in this area? And if we're going to get rejected, we don't want to trade. What we want to trade is it back down if it does get rejected, which is a more advanced style of strategy. So we always teach the basics, which is directional trading, but you also have pattern trading and rotational trading inside these moves, and it's kind of trading back to the mean if you want to look that up. Now, again, you can use our GPT, our Cabrota Trading Battle Box GPT. You can use it. It's open in the public store in there. It'll give you some basic educational stuff, but it's really designed to get plugged in with the whole ecosystem of Cabrota. So anyway, if you actually said, hey, I want to take a trade, and asked it, you took a screenshot of this. Most people know how to do this. You just press down the Windows button, the Shift button, and the S. And from there, it's going to pop up this. You can also go to search and get the snippet tool or any snippet tool you have. Obviously, you're just going to highlight the area you want to snip, and you can go paste that into GPT and have it take a look at what's going on. Now, it would have told you you're still in rotation, you haven't had commitment yet. Then you would have saw this running up during this time frame, and you'd be like, man, I'm missing the trade. Again, you could continue to take screenshots and give it to the GPT. It's going to tell you need to be patient, and it's going to explain it. You're like, why am I being patient here? What's going on? It needs a pullback is what it's going to tell you. Well, what's a pullback? A pullback is to the original breakout. Well, the breakout was here. Does it mean it needs to come all the way back down here? No. Does it mean it needs to come all the way back down to the daily resistance in this case? Not necessarily. It could have pulled back right in here and then pulled out. What you're looking for is the buyers to show strength during this pullback, and you're just taking a breather after the last push up. It had to push through this resistance, and now it's tired and it wants to pull back. Now this becomes a SAR flip is what they call it. Support and resistance. It got flipped. So this once was resistance is now support. So like I said, it doesn't have to be support meaning it touches it. But once it does do this, if you took a snapshot and said, hey, well, look, is this a pullback now? Is this in play? And yeah, that's in play. So now you're actually saying, okay, now I can take advantage of this. And I'm not showing you a bunch of other indicators. There's other things that you can confirm this with and have more confidence. If you're using the GPT, it'll help you out quite a bit. I mean, it would give you the call here. Then you could take the 5 minute and say, well, where do I enter? It'll tell you, I'm not going to give you the exact entry, but it would say, well, right now you want to be above the 21. Where you decide to enter, it's up to you. This is where you, as a trader, it's pretty much hand-fed you everything you need to do. So the back test was right here. So you could put your stop right there. You could put your stop back on the other trigger. And then I'm going to get in because I broke the 21. Everything is good, so I'm going to get in and I'm going to let this go. And we're going to let this go. Well, obviously you can see price action didn't go anywhere after that. The reason why I'm showing you all this and telling you all this, are you the guy? Let me ask you a couple questions that you as the user or you as a trader, are you the guy that would get in right here because this was a break? Would you get in right here because this was a break? And there's nothing wrong with that. You're a very aggressive trader. You're not waiting for the confirmation that we actually are in a move. With the way we look at it and the way I would teach on it or educate on it is we're in a rotational phase right now. It hasn't committed, and on the breakout, it could fail anywhere here and pull right back into the mean, back into the middle, back into the point of control, and that's a trade that I would take. That's why I'm not willing to get in right now and say it's going to run up either, because I'm also watching this for it to break down. I'm the guy that's going to short it from right up in here, back down to right in here again. So That's why I'm telling you that. That's why you're an aggressive trader if you're doing this. You really want to see the market control saying we're going to go from rotational to directional, meaning we have chose that we're going to go up now. And then now but for me to say we're going to go truly up and it's going to hold, this isn't going to be a breakdown again. I want you to backtest and show strength. And that's exactly what you see. This is the backtest right here. And the reason why I'm getting in on the 5 minute, because that's my entry area. And I use the 21 for exit, so I'm going to use the 21 for the same idea for an entry. I want to be above it. So here we are. We're in the move. You can see it's trying to run up. It doesn't at back test. So obviously, for me, I'm going to get out if it breaks through that 21. It doesn't break through. It goes ahead and goes on up. It doesn't have very much energy, though. I would expect this to run now. It already did all this energy, back tested, and I should see some type of movement now up to the higher levels. Where for me, where the red flag kicks back in is right here. I lose this right here. So for ease, I would say, hey, I'm going to get out. And depending on where you decide to put your stop, you made basically if it was $100 trade, $100 risk, you would have made $80. If it was a $100 risk and you moved it down, you made $45. That's not a bad deal, because the nice thing is you waited, you were patient, you executed with the highest execution. So you almost, I'm not a big give percentages on execution, but you're pretty much always going to get green in the account based on using these kind of behaviors, because you're not trying to catch the perfect jump on the run. Now, you're not going to always make the most money because you're waiting, but you're getting in on the movement. So we're getting in after it's confirmed that it wants to have a directional move up. You are the guy that gets the run. Now, you could analyze this and say, hey, if this starts to fail here, we already ran back when we should have had more strength for the up. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up my stop, and I'm going to get out a little higher. That's up to you. If you wanted to do that, you can get up in this area. But regardless, you got out and you made money, and your percentages are pretty high. You'll take a lot less hits. If you're a guy that's getting hit and getting stopped out, this is what I'm talking about. Because the guy that traded here or gets in here and running a stop right up against this area right here, like this is a typical trade that a lot of people will do, because we're on the breakout and they would have got in somewhere in here and it started to run, and they would have wanted to run, and now they're waiting. This is the impatient trader, right? And are you this guy that gets hit out? If you are, you're getting in too early. You're not waiting for a confirmation. This could have easily traded on down. We're already in the negative area because we crossed the 21. So I would have already been frustrated if I was in this trade myself, and I would have already got out with the loss and just called it the day, because this could obviously be the break back down to the middle of the range again, and that's what I'm talking about. So we got confirmation that this was rotation to directional, meaning it's going to move in the bullish direction. Then we got the pullback that says, yes, we're going to hold that and we're going to move on out. So that happened there. So we went ahead and got in right through here. And we went ahead and traded it up, but we actually got out when it broke the 21. And now we're happy. We're good. And you can see that this actually started to, as it lost the 21, it tried to run up a little higher, but the guy that stayed in there gave you a little bit more. It took out this top area, and then it broke down pretty hard. Tried to come back through. Now it's breaking down. It's actually, once it starts to break through this, you're actually in a full rotation back down. So that is the recap of the day. That's us analyzing the price action through today's energy. I don't have a lot on the charts. We actually analyzed it without a lot on the charts. We just looked at price action, looked at the support and resistance, and then I used two moving averages, the 200 and the 21. That's it. It's very simple. Now, the one big trick that I will say is we do have tools that help us use this in a live automation where it'll actually calls a lot of this out for me, and that is inside the Cabroto.com site that gives you all this information. So it does make trading a lot easier. All you have to do is be able to help start training your eye when things happen. And like I said, the GPT that we built called this out for you for us. That's what happened today for me. I did play the dumb trader today for myself just to test the system. And I took a picture, I took a screenshot like I was showing you, dropped it in the GPT. It turned around and said, sorry, buddy, you're going to have to wait. You're still in rotation. It's not even confirmed that it's moving in direction yet. Waited a little while and it started to get up in here. Again, took a screenshot. Hey, what should I do now? They said, hey, you're actually moving in directional movement, but now you're really waiting for the pullback. So then I just watched it kept going and going. And even myself starts to go like, oh, man, I missed the move. I wish I got in back here. Then it finally started to top out and I'm like, whew, man, I am glad that I did not get into that. It's going to pull back. I knew it was going to do that. You got to train yourself to be this way. Don't I knew, or I should have, or I'm happy. That's not how we trade, is emotional. So regardless, when it got back down to here, that was the back test. It should have bounced. I actually started taking another screenshot somewhere in here and said, hey, we're in the back test. And it said, yes, we are in a back test and it's starting to hold strong. We're starting to watch for it turning. Well, once it did this and I got this candle that I marked right here on the 15-minute, this is where I actually took the screenshot and said, okay, is everything happened now? Are we directional, or is the pullback happened? It said, yeah, you're ready to go ahead and do what you want. And then, like I said, I kicked in. I'm the human trader, and we're not robot trading. That is not the purpose. We use tools to help us make sound decisions. And then once we have those sound decisions that we can put into place, so we use support and resistance levels, indicators that help us make sound decisions. And then we as a trader need to actually act on it. And then we monitor it live. I do not let a bot idea or AI trade for me. The problem with AI and using this kind of stuff is it's always changing. There's a lot of human behavior that happened through here. Because technically this should have been probably the pull up, this should have been the back test, and we just ripped. But you didn't. You had this weird human behavior that kept on trading in this. So that's about it, guys. I will let you go. Thanks for hanging out with me, and let me tell you a lot of stuff. Hopefully it helped you out. Try to keep it basic, lowered it down. I didn't show you any of the GPT. I didn't show you in converted.com, but a lot of the stuff that's on here made it easier for me. Within 5 minutes, I had all this built and was ready to go. Any questions I have, like I said, I just asked the GPT, and it helped me move throughout the day and take action when it was time to do it. But all right, guys, I will leave you to it. Like and subscribe. Ask any questions in the comments. We continue to build it out. But that is, like I said, our goal is to teach you how to drive that car. And again, it's going to take practice. You're going to have to get in the driver's seat. You're going to have to do the work. The person that sits in the passenger seat does not get to touch the steering wheel, right? They can't touch the brake, the gas. They just kind of have to sit there and help out. So that's exactly what we're here for you as well. But all right, guys, I'll let you head out. See ya.